Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's TeamLease podcast, where we interact with some industry experts primarily to exchange ideas, take their learnings, and explore innovative solutions to address some of the challenges that we face. In today's topic, we're going to touch upon mentorship and coaching, which has been one of the key focus areas across all industries. Organizations are typically grappling with the skill gaps and high attrition rates, and also the challenge to prepare their employees to don leadership roles. A few interesting tidbits around this. About 74% of the employees actually cited the reason of lack of mentorship for moving out of an organization. Also, we've seen that employees perform 3x better than what they otherwise would with the right kind of coaching. Mentorship programs have also ensured better retention, is what we see. About 69% retention levels have gotten better by the right kind of mentorship. So today, to share more around this topic, we have Mr. Shiv Rawat, who's the Group CHRO and VP HR from VTrans India, which is one of India's largest logistics and transportation companies. So, Mr. Rawat, welcome to today's podcast, sir, and thank you for taking the time out.
Thank you, Dhiren, and thanks for giving me opportunity to be here and
Pleasure, yes,
for the
sir.
nice
So
introduction you have.
before
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So before I shoot out a few questions and thoughts that we have, I'd love to just introduce you a little more. So Mr. Rawat actually comes in with about 30 years of industry experience and has been the recipient of multiple accolades in the past. His most recent one has been the Financial Express Influencer of the Year, which he got in the year 2023, I guess. And he's also been the most fabulous HR leader by ET and also got the HR Leader Award for a great place to work. So I think you've been around for a while, you've been mentoring people, and would love to pick your brains to see how others could also replicate the best practices as such, sir. So to start off with, I think the first question that comes to mind is, what is your take around bridging skill gaps via mentorship, and how does mentorship play a critical role over there?
So, Dhiren, basically, mentorship and coaching is my one of the favorite topics because I practice, these initiatives in my career. Almost 30 years of journey, I've been in the similar kind of role. When you are in HR, you get into somehow into these areas where you go and talk to the people, understand their issues, challenges, and to see that how you can bridge the gap, within the organization so that organization also grow and the individual also grow. Uh, in my experience, what I have seen and observed that normally people get confused between the coaching and the mentorship.
Mhm.
And even though when we have mentor has a different definition all across. Um, when it comes to coaching people more majorly has been related to the sports, but coaching comes in business, coaching comes in life as well. But when we specifically talk about the mentorship is something, which help an individual to, get a comfort level in the organization wherever a person is joining. It helps individual to see that they learn within the organization, because normally you must have seen that wherever a person joins, whether it is a new joinee who comes straight away from the college and get into the system, or an experienced person coming from one organization to another organization, the mentorship role is important. फर्स्ट चैलेंज फॉर एनी इंडिविजुअल इज टू अंडरस्टैंड बिजनेस, एंड उससे सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज आया था कि उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में उसको एस्टैब्लिश होना जरूरी है. Establishment becomes the challenge. So if you don't have a right mentor in the organization, you don't get industry specific knowledge, you don't get the organization related knowledge, you don't know do and don't of the organization, right? So a mentor can help on those areas wherein an individual ensures that he or she performs when they are in the organizations. And by this journey, individual also get the stability and the organization also gets the stability. But unfortunately, sometime, we don't understand this. purely, and we just go by the books and assign coach and leave it, because coaches are there to enable, but coaches are not there to guide. So
Got it.
mentor is only a person who basically guide the people to get a growth.
Sir, I'm smiling over here because I think you've hit the nail on the head. More often than not, these two terms are misused. Says, hey, I have the right mentorship or coaching as such, but I think
Yeah.
you very nicely defined what each one's role is out over there. So just leveraging on that or continuing on that particular topic a little more, with respect to coaching and the growth of an individual, what's your take on how that has been shaping up, how industries are acting on it, and how do you guys do it, sir?
So if you specifically talking about the coaching, as I said, for coaching per se, you need to identify people where you see a high potential things are there, right? You have some strategic planning and a talent management plan where you wanted to ensure that invest into the people and take them along with the journey.
Mhm.
So when it comes to industry, as I said earlier, not rightly, as I said earlier, that coaching concept in India is booming up.
Mhm.
As I said, it was only considered as, sports course. But when it coming into the business, I'll give you an example. I was dealing with one of the person, and I was asking ki, you were assigned a coach in the past, but you have not attended all the sessions. You only attended one or two sessions. What happened basically? Then a gentleman replied to me, बोले साहब कोच का मतलब क्या होता है? मैं कहा क्या होता है? कोच का मतलब ये होता है कि साहब जहां हम अटक जाए वहां हमको हेल्प करें.
Mhm. Mhm.
नाउ यू सी द डिफरेंस, राइट? सो ये वो वाली बात हो जाएगी कि आपने जो राइट प्रोडक्ट को रॉन्ग जगह में प्लेस कर दिया है, या राइट कोच को रॉन्ग जगह प्लेस कर दिया है, राइट?
Got
सो
it.
दिस इज हाउ थिंग हैपेंस, राइट? So when
Yeah.
it comes to coaching, as a coach, we still need to identify that where exactly the coaching is required.
Got it.
It should not be a random marketing where we that everybody is following, then I will also follow, or I will have a coach, then you will also need to have a coach. It's not like that. If you
Got it.
really need a coach, coach is a tough journey. Coaching is a tough journey. It's not that easy because you have to, wait, or you have to face the questions which the coach is going to ask.
Got
So
it.
questioning yourself or an individual, people don't take it easy.
Understood. Very nicely put, sir. So coaching, I think, as you said, has become one of the needs out over there, and you
Yeah.
have different ways in which it's being enabled. One of it is via technology, also, is what I would
Yes.
assume, right?
Yes.
So, what's your take on how technology has been enabling? What are the best practices that you foresee, and how things could shape up? Would love to hear your thoughts on that.
See, when it comes to technology, I would say, like we were talking to each other. You are sitting at one place. Maybe we are in the same city, but you are sitting at one place. I am sitting at a one place. This is technology, right? Uh, a coachee or coach is sitting some other place. I am sitting at other place. I can pick up my phone and then use and then talk to the individual. Previously, those things were not there. You need to have a one-to-one meeting. You need to have a discussion. You need to have a set of processes, or you have a set dates. Then you can go and meet. But today, the technology is helping you in all the ways, right? जो मैंने अभी एग्जांपल दे दिए तो बेसिक एग्जांपल्स हैं कि आप
Please.
अगर कोचिंग करना, you can't wait for कि physical meeting to happen. You can go and click off button and do a WhatsApp to your coach and you say, hey coach, I want to have a 5 minute chat with you,
Agreed. Agreed.
right? So this is how the technology, and there are many ways where the technology. I was having one discussion with one of the person out of India that
Uh-huh.
time, and he was talking about e-mentorship.
Got it.
Yeah,
Nice.
so e-mentorship, e-coaching, how they will coach, what are the criteria they needed, right? So technology may give you certain details. Technology
Mhm.
may give you certain data inputs about the individual. Technology may indicate certain behavioral aspects, but the questions, the thoughts only comes when you start talking to each other. So either it is mentorship or either it is, coaching. The talk is important.
Got it. No, so I think you're right. So primarily technology with its frameworks and the likes has helped ensure coaching is a little more streamlined. And as you said, without the right guidance, it could have its own set of challenges.
Yeah.
So completely with you on that, sir. In your past, so are there any instances that you'd like to share of how coaching has transformed someone or how coaching has transformed the workplace based on some initiatives or the likes? It would be good to hear your thoughts around that.
Yeah, so as I said, I've been in total 30 years of experience with the organization and being in the industry, logistics industry. Uh, I have dealt, in fact, with multiple peoples where we have brought the coaching program in the organizations after identifying the individuals. So if you need to get into a coaching or a mentorship, you need to really identify. You can't go for coaching for everyone and you can't go for mentorship for everyone. You need to have a specific agenda, specific people to identify. So in my past experience, I still remember we had a batch of 250, we had a batch of 50, 60 people where we have people from experienced background and people from non-experienced background. The freshers were also there and non-freshers were also there, where we guided them, right? We gave them a training. We curated a 6 month, 7 month, 9 months program, and then we have assigned a coach. So as I said, coaching, you have to identify that who's supposed to be your coachee and why the coaching is run. So basis of that, we identify the coaches, that how the coaches are going to help. And you won't believe all 250 cannot get convert because it is individual also need to put a effort to change himself or herself. But yes, there were certain people who started a journey as management trainee. You know, we have given them opportunity. Today, they are sitting at a vice president level also.
Amazing. Very nice.
Right. So this is how this works. Uh, I was remembering one of the example also, but I forget. Otherwise, याद आएगा तो मैं आपको बताता हूँ. But there are multiple examples where we have mentored people, where we have coached people, and still they are doing fantastically well. And one more thing I would like to mention here, that as you grow, does not mean that you don't require a mentor or you don't require a coaching.
True, true.
हाँ, कोचेस का ग्रेड बढ़ जाएगा, मेंटर का ग्रेड बढ़ जाएगा, बट यू नीड समवन हु कैन गाइड यू एंड हु कैन इनेबल यू.
As you rightly said, so we tend to learn from everyone, but there always should be someone who you can look up to and get the right kind of
Yes,
inputs.
yes.
So very nice. I like the way you said there were 250 people that were chosen and coached and the likes. Any inputs for the audience on how do you go about selecting these people? Because if it's a team size of 5,000, 6,000 or the likes, it's very hard to identify the right group. So what process or what kind of cues should be you should be looking at to get these guys under your fold to build them to be the next leader, next set of leaders?
So I'll give you example, and I could remember what I forget actually. So by what we do in my previous organization, in my current organization, also I follow a practice, and there might be a lot of organization who follow such kind of practices. We hire, management trainees from the colleges. I'm
Mhm.
talking about first set of people who are freshers, right? Because if you are not going to give them an opportunity, then how you are going to build the nation? You have to give
Perfect.
your contribution as well. So what we used to do, we used to first identify that where we need to bring the management training. And when you talking about management training, there are different set of colleges, there are different set of cities, there are different set of skills being available all across. Basis of that, what we need, we hire the students, right?
Mhm.
And in my previous and current also, we have hired good number of people, 200, 250, 150, 70, 80 kind of people, right? When we bring them into the system, we curate a proper program for them.
Mhm. Mhm.
एक तो होता है कि आप कॉलेज से थ्योरी पढ़ के आते हैं, बट जब आपको प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में जाना है, तो यू स्ट्रेट अवे 7वें दिन आप आए, 8वें दिन आपको जॉब पे लगा देते हैं. बट वी डोंट बिलीव ऑन दोज थिंग्स. बट वी बिलीव इन दैट वी ब्रिंग पीपल, देन एक्चुअल जो लाइफ की लर्निंग है, इट स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द कॉर्पोरेट और इट स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वेयर यू स्टार्ट योर करियर. Then you see lot of things, right? So we bring those people, we ensure that they have been assigned a proper mentor, we ensure that the area where we want them to get into understand and learn and then start result. And then we also ensure that when they work, right, they have been given a platform to play.
Got it.
It's not theory again and again. Theory hardly
Mm.
हमारा 20 दिन 21 दिन का रहता है, लेकिन
Got it.
प्रैक्टिकल ग्राउंड खेलने के लिए हम उनको बाद में दे देते हैं. So this is about your freshers when we talk about. But when it the existing set of people, right? Look, people talk about high potential people. People talk about potential of the individual. I would say that potential is everywhere. It's all about that how you choose basis of the need you have in your organization. So there are all set of assessment you can do it, but the basic thing which we all need to understand is what objective we wanted to achieve. That is number one. Which kind of business we are in and which kind of role and function is important for us. Basis of that, you choose the existing set of people as well within the company, and with the multiple criteria, the age criteria, the tenure criteria, the learning criteria, the engagement criteria, the failure criteria. The failure criteria is also important. Sometimes people say, yeah, एक बार fail हो गया, दो बार fail हो गया, निकाल दो इसको. But they forget that a person who gets fail put the efforts, right? Without the effort, you won't be fail.
Yeah, yeah,
If you
yeah.
put effort, you will either fail or you will success.
True,
So
true, true.
we should also need to see that even the person who got failed, that means the person is putting efforts to go up
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and to achieve the target.
Let's say
तो
yes, sir.
तो ये फिलॉसफी पे थोड़ा सा मैं काम करता हूँ, ताकि पहले दिन से ये ना हो कि भाई ये टैलेंट नहीं है, वो टैलेंट है. फॉर मी एज ए इंडिविजुअल, एवरीबडी इज ए टैलेंट, बट यू नीड टू फिट देम इन एट द राइट प्लेस.
Got it. So जैसे आपने बोला, if you've never failed, it implies you've not tried hard enough, right? So that is definitely a part of it, and the right guidance and coaching would definitely help.
Yeah.
So the other challenge that we see in the industry right now, just moving on to the gig workforce, we've
Yes.
seen that for them, it's very hard to get the right kind of mentorship, coaching, and even the current structure really doesn't enable them for the right career path. Personally, is what I feel. So,
True.
what's your take around that, and how could mentorship or coaching help transform this for these guys being a long-term asset to us?
See, I have been in the industry. I've worked with multiple, gig workers, people at the ground who does the last mile deliveries, right? As an individual, as an organization, we need to understand the need of an individual, what exactly they are looking for. If we don't understand the need, we won't be able to retain them into the system.
Got it.
Sometimes these needs are very, very basics,
Mhm.
but we forget those needs. Now, let me give you example. The mentorship or coaching is not only it's not the only accountability of the organization. The mentorship and coaching is also the accountability of the people who are dealing with them.
Mm.
Because for gig workforce, you cannot bring a proper full type of mentor, then you align them. No organization look like that way. But
Right.
when it comes to accountability, a person whoever is dealing with that individual is accountable to give them a mentorship. For example, you must be ordering, nowadays sitting at home through Insta, Swiggy, Zomato, Zepto, all of this organization, quick commerce,
Absolutely.
you get all these things, right?
Yeah.
A gentleman, whoever is coming, a woman, whoever is coming for any delivery, how you behave with them, right, is one set of mentorship. Is
Right.
one set of mentorship. So you are not talking about mentorship, but you are showcasing your mentorship by behaving within an individual.
Got it.
Today, gig workforce is not limited with the certain, academic background. Today, we see there are a lot of people who comes with a good background for the part time. They do this gig work task for
Yeah.
their part time also. Why they are coming into the business? Why? Because they are feeling and understanding there is a value to it. One, of course, the money for them, the partner, the opportunity which they get, and the kind of behavior they get into from the system, right?
Mhm.
When it comes to as an organization, how they are going to work, because it is still a challenge. 30 साल पहले भी वही चैलेंज था, आज भी वही चैलेंज है कि 200 रुपए के लिए आदमी इधर से उधर चला जाता है. दैट चैलेंज इज स्टिल देयर. But why they move from one place to another place is the only thing, that they don't get the environment for them to perform, right?
Correct.
Even the gig workforce who are going to a dark store for 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, 12 hours, how they
Mm.
have been behaved, how they have been perceived, how they have been seen, also matters a lot by the organization to ensure that yes, they are there, we are there for you, and there are certain things. So incentive cannot only retain people.
Yeah.
The behavior will play a very important role by giving understanding to them in terms of that why they are important to us.
Got it. No, I think you rightly said. The organization as well as the team leads need to play a very critical role to handle this gig workforce and continuously mentor them in their own little ways, even if it is not a very structured approach kind of thing, right?
So
Sir, आपने एक interesting चीज बोली. You said that people move around for a very small salary, 200, 500, 1000 रुपए के लिए they keep switching, right? So how do you see coaching and mentorship as a tool by a company to ensure that attrition rates drop?
when this, the time of e-com started, online and everything started, the company started coming into the business, and then they started picking up the people like left and right, paying them huge salary. It is actually was not salary, but the huge number they were showcasing. A lot of things has happened, and
Yeah.
people may, those who are from the industry may understand the kind of challenge they must have also faced during that period. While analyzing the things, we could see that it was a seasonal practice, seasonal work for these people. One was that you were working with the organization for whole year, and then you get a proper salary every month. But suddenly something comes, and then it comes in a way that you get 40,000 rupees for a month, and then you only work for 3 months. So those challenges been faced by any organization, and I also face the similar kind of challenge. So what we did, we started in a practicing going to the meeting people at the ground, talking them to understand, making them aware of the situation, that how it will look like, because initially it is not it's not very simple, because you don't have any facts in with you. When you're talking something, you don't have any facts, you can't produce any facts, but with the experience, with the industry, you understand that how it is going to work. So when it comes to such kind of level, they need to give a proper awareness
Mhm.
about the situation. अल्टीमेटली कॉल तो उन्हीं के हाथ में है. आप कल के दिन में मैं आपको बोलूंगा, या मेरे को कोई बोलेगा कि मेरा राउत साहब आपके लिए इतना इतना अच्छा ऑफर है, आप ज्वाइन कीजिए, समवन से जाइए, समवन में से मत जाइए. It ultimately, at the end of the day, I need to decide whether I should go or not.
True.
So as an organization, what is our job is to give them awareness, give them a facts, give them a logic, and talk about your organization, that how your organization has built up the things in the past, and whether it is a sustainable things or it is a non-sustainable things for them. So
Correct.
if you give those awareness, it will work. Now, when it comes to tools, one is that physically you're going and talking and doing a town hall. Secondly, you use LMS platform where you go and talk and share some awareness to the individual, that boss, see, this is how it has happened. So
Correct.
I believe discussion, awareness, talking while using the technology can help individuals. आज तो पहले तो हमको एग्जाम्पल्स के लिए सोचना पड़ता था, प्रैक्टिकल एग्जाम्पल्स के लिए सोचना पड़ता था. आज तो आप टेक्नोलॉजी की मदद से कितने एग्जाम्पल्स उठा के आप पुट अप कर सकते हो, पूरे इंडिया वर्ल्ड से आपको एग्जाम्पल आ जाएंगे, एंड देन यू कैन गो टू द इंडिविजुअल्स एंड सेइंग कि आप ये ऐसा कर सकते हो.
Yeah, right.
I'll give you one small example. Yesterday I was talking to one of my colleague, and ऐसी कुछ दिल की बात है कि आपका दिल तो सर, आपके लेफ्ट हैंड में अगर दर्द हो रहा है तो यू हैव टू इमीडिएटली रश टू द हॉस्पिटल. मैंने कहा व्हाट इफ हैपेंस दैट योर हार्ट इज ऑन द राइट साइड.
Mm.
तो देन ही सेड, राइट साइड में होता है क्या? मैंने कहा अब हमने तो सुना है होता है, गूगल इट And when we did the Google, we could able to find कि there is a reason that you have hurt on the right side. So it's awareness, right? हमको तो ये पता है कि लेफ्ट हैंड में दर्द होगा तो आपको हार्ट का इशू है। अभी किसी बेचारे का राइट साइड में अगर दिल है और राइट में दर्द हो रहा है यार, वो बोल रहा है नहीं नहीं वो तो लेफ्ट में दर्द होगा, देन ओनली आई टू रश टू द हॉस्पिटल। सो इट्स
Yes,
अबाउट
sir.
अवेयरनेस।
I think you're right. So mentorship and coaching in its own ways could help in getting the associates or the candidates take the right decision, a more informed decision as they progress in their career path.
यस यस।
So good. So one last question before I let you go. I mean, I would love to continue the discussion, but one last question, sir. What would your take be for people listening to this podcast on how to invest in people and the ROI that you have seen in your past with respect to such investments? It could be time, it could be monetary, it could be either of them, sir.
So I would suggest that if you really wanted to invest in the individuals, you really need to understand that where you wanted to invest and what is your need. क्या बोलते हैं, ये इस तरीके से नहीं होना चाहिए कि 50, एक आदमी ने 50 लिए, आदमी दूसरे ने 50 लिए, या दूसरा ये एक्सरसाइज कर रहा है मैं भी एक्सरसाइज को, इट कैन नॉट फिट, राइट?
टिक
बिकॉज
बॉक्स नहीं होना चाहिए.
नहीं होना
Yeah.
चाहिए। आपका बिजनेस अलग है बॉस, आपका काम अलग है, आपकी इंडस्ट्री अलग है, आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन अलग है, आपका एनवायरनमेंट अलग है। बेसिस ऑफ दैट यू डिसाइड व्हाट यू नीड, सो अकॉर्डिंगली यू नीड टू इन्वेस्ट, दैट इज फर्स्ट थिंग। सेकेंडली, व्हेन इट कम्स टू within your organization, when you are investing on a mentorship, when your industry investing on a coaching, again you need to know about your employees. कोई आईटी का मेंटर लॉजिस्टिक इंडस्ट्री में क्या गाइड करेगा, आई डाउट। और मे बी आवर इंडस्ट्री मेंटर what IT में गाइड करेंगे, because it is sometime when it comes to mentorship, it is basically industry specific where people need to perform in their respective role, but coach can perform from any industry, so coaches के लिए वो फायदा है। coaches can come from anywhere because they are enablers, but mentors are guidance, right? They give the guidance. So accordingly, first understand your organization, understand your people, understand your need. Basis of that you decide for an investment. When you talk about investment, before investment you have to identify that what ROI you are going to get, and to get that ROI you need to also have a patience with you. ROI can come immediately and can come after a year. So organization एक दिन में बदलती नहीं, it takes time. So for that, you need to give time.
Got it. Good, sir. I think if I'm to sum up this whole thing, a few things that come to mind is misused terms of mentorship and coaching needs to be identified clearly by people, where mentorship at one end is primarily to guide and the other end would be the enabler kind of a thing, where coaching could be the enabler. From an organization perspective, gets very critical to identify the requirements for them. Could be training the freshers who actually come in, or could be training or coaching the people who are there in the organization to ensure that you get the right kind of ROI. And continuous interactions and learning from people across is what I would sum it up. So that's about it from our end, sir. And thank you so much again taking this time out. And would love forward to having another interaction with you in due course.
Thank you, Dhiren. I love the interaction. Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much
much.
for the opportunity.